What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Spare Change. Today we've got Underworld 4K Blu-ray disc.
Blood Wars.
We're not going to get too much into the film itself. We're just going to talk about the audio and video quality. But first, before we do that, let's check out the packaging and see what we get inside. The packaging includes slipcase with matching case artwork, standard Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray, and digital download code. Alright guys, we just got done watching the film. For some quick tech specs, this movie was shot in 6K with the Red Weapon Dragon, 4K digital intermediate. So it's going to be pretty clean, pretty pristine. The movie's 91 minutes long, so pretty much an hour and a half. It's in Dolby Atmos, immersive sound, so be prepared for some immersive action going on in your home theater. Aspect ratio is in 235:1. So for those with television sets, you're going to get black bars on the top and the bottom. Those are projectors, scope screens. You guys are good to go there. So picture quality wise, Bill, what'd you think about that?
Well, I'm a big fan of the Underworld movies. I like this one. I thought they did a nice job of the HDR usage in here. It's a very dark movie, like most of the other ones. It's shot at night because it's vampires and werewolves. The HDR, certain points where they're in the vampire stronghold, and there's suddenly sunlight where it's not supposed to be. That was really some nice HDR stuff. Some of the different weapons they use, the fight scenes, they had some nice highlights in there as far as that goes. I thought they did a good job with the blacks. Really nice black levels because this movie's, they're always everybody's wearing black leather. It's in a castle. It's very gray. Really nice job. Shot really well.
Exactly. Like I said, the movie was shot in 6K, so great resolution in this movie. I'm gonna say it's a little bit shy of being a reference quality because it is so dark. I mean, the image was still a little bit soft, I think.
Yeah.
I think we can agree on that. Not quite reference grade. HDR did kick in. I mean, you do get some pretty good detail in the shadow areas.
Yeah, I just sort of like one really good HDR moment that just popped in my head. So when David's fighting the main villain in the final battle, there's a really nice HDR moment there where a lot is revealed, and it's a really excellent contrast moment. And I don't want to say any more than that, but you'll see it, and it's really quite breathtaking.
Right, so very good implementation of HDR in this movie. Resolution is pretty good as well. Alright, now for audio quality, the film was shot with Dolby Atmos. Wasn't that good? I didn't think it was that great. It wasn't really super active. It was moderately active. Some good atmospherics here and there. One time you really noticed it was maybe during the big action sequences. There's one standout moment, I think right towards the end, where that little sunbeam or whatever they shot out.
Yeah, that they bring in this, like, it looks like some kind of a cannon to shoot holes in the castle.
Yeah, you can hear it flying over your head, which is kind of cool. Caught me off guard. That was pretty impressive. Other than that, I mean, it was kind of light on the surround experience, for me at least.
Well, for me, the fight scene in the northern, the Nordic stronghold for the vampires, that had some pretty neat moments in terms of a lot of stuff going on. But then Celine, there's a moment where they do something and she's on the ice, and there's a lot of stuff going on where she's doing that thing where she slides under people, and that was kind of cool. You hear a lot of right to left, left to right travel, ice cracking, some pretty neat stuff going on there. But generally, yeah, as Shane said, I'll agree with him. It's really kind of light, generally on atmospherics. A lot of dialogue.
Now, we did also take a look at the 3D version as well. And for 3D quality wise, it was pretty crisp. It looked pretty crisp. It was a bright image. We were surprised by the resolution on the 3D quality. Pretty good depth in it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I commented to Shane. I said, wow, this looks like it's in 4K. This Blu-ray quality, because it was very sharp. It wasn't soft at all.
Which I can attribute to the Red Weapon Dragon being shot in 6K. So it translated pretty well. It wasn't shot in 3D, but it was a conversion. It did look a little bit cardboard cutty-outy, But other than that, I mean, it was pretty decent. There were some parts, if you took your glasses off, you know, it didn't look like it was 3D at all, but
yes.
Other parts.
Some flat moments.
Yeah, but there were a lot of parts that provided pretty good depth, though.
The action parts were very, you know, very pop out. Very good quality Blu-ray, 3D.
All right, so for picture quality wise, this movie was shot in 6K, like I said. I'm gonna give it a good. I'm gonna give it 8. I'm gonna say 8. Pretty good HDR quality, good resolution, good detail up close, good shadow detail. It would have to be because the movie was shot in pretty much all nighttime. It was very dark, so some pretty good detail there. So good solid 8 from me.
I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I noticed a few things. There's some really nice details. The HDR. There's some really cool little blood scenes where blood spatter is really detailed. It looks really lifelike. And the HDR kind of reflections off the little blood droplets. It was very, I find that to be pretty cool. So I'll give it an extra 0.5 for that. So 8.5 from me.
I'm also going to give the 3D version 8 as well. Just for the clarity, for the brightness with the glasses on. Took a few points off with the glasses off test because not the entire movie was in 3D.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.5. I thought the action sequences were well done, but I think there was a little too much in there that wasn't in 3D. I had my glasses off for certain parts, a lot of the dialogue parts where they're indoors and not much is going on, and it was just completely flat. So, I mean, I think that they could have utilized the 3D a little bit more extensively than they did. So, 7.5 for me on the 3D version.
Now, 3D version audio, I believe, is only in DTS 5.1. That movie was a little, obviously not as immersive as the Atmos version. It was a little flat compared to the Atmos version. Atmos just opened up a whole different realm there, much wider, more immersive. Obviously, it is Atmos. So for 3D audio quality, I'm gonna give it a 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it like a 6, 6.5. It wasn't horrible, but yeah, it wasn't. They didn't really take advantage of any kind of during the fight scenes where there's a lot of stuff going on overhead, a lot of left to right movement with weapons and people. They didn't really use much of that. So yeah, 6.5.
All right, now is this movie safe for your kids to watch? What is it? It's rated R, I believe.
Rated R. Extreme violence. Extreme violence. Lots of blood. Lots of heads exploding and bodies getting ripped apart. So yeah, probably not the best movie to watch with your youngsters.
So skip this one if you got some young kids.
Or put them to bed first anyway.
All right, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
Follow us, subscribe, leave comments. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
We'll see you guys again in the next video.
Cheers.